Your CTA or your call to action is the last 10% of the page, but it's responsible for 90% of the action. Your landing page CTA determines whether you get paid or get ghosted. If the CTA doesn't grab attention in the first 3 seconds, you've lost them. If you're texting leads, the wrong CTA will get you ghosted fast. Realtors push too hard, so prospects pull away. These CTAs crushed it over 6 real estate markets. Timing your call to action is like seasoning your food. Too early and it ruins everything. People don't act logically, they act emotionally. You don't need 100 call to actions, you need one that actually works. Where you place the CTA matters as much as what it says. Loss, curiosity, logic in that order, every time. As a realtor, you don't have a lead problem, you probably have a CTA problem. You're probably spending thousands on ads, building nice landing pages, writing great headlines, but still not getting leads, whatever reason, right? What if the real problem was the last sentence on your funnel? That your call to action is a big one. Like most realtors using call to actions that are vague, generic, or just flat out kind of boring. In this video, I'm basically going to show you exactly what CTAs convert best for realtors in ads, landing pages, texts, emails, and follow-ups. But before we dive into all that, you're probably wondering, who is this British man talking and why he's talking about real estate in the US? Well, I'm Dylan Kirk. I'm the CEO and founder of Estato. We basically pride ourselves in building YouTube quality ad systems for realtors, right? So hyper-focusing on quality instead of quantity, because we realized 100 leads and 0 conversions, they weren't really leads in the first place. There were 0 leads because you didn't convert anyone. They weren't a good fit in the first place. The quality sucked and you just waste your time, probably hundreds of hours on leads that didn't go anywhere. So that's what we really pride ourselves on there. But we first have to talk about the role of the call to action before diving into what CTAs really perform best for you. So your CTA or your call to action is the last 10% of the page, but it's responsible for 90% of the action. Most agents use CTAs like submit or contact us. The vague life is scary. It becomes an afterthought for a lot of agents, right? It really, really doesn't look. But the CTA should do 3 things really. Reinforce the benefit, remove friction or fear, create urgency momentum, right? Every CTA is a micro sale. Treat it like it matters. Right, it has to do these 3 things here, otherwise it's kind of pointless. The CTA should move the prospect one step closer to a yes without triggering any hesitation. A good example is a video here as well. This is more one of the ads we run ourselves, but basically letting them know to click the blue button below to actually get access to like their home's value and stuff like that in a really, really instant way. So it's a really, really good way of doing it there. This works for funnels as well. That's a really good example in that YouTube ad video there. But category 1 is finding the best CTAs for landing pages. Your landing page CTA determines whether you get paid or get ghosted. So here are some landing page CTAs that work in real estate and have worked in the past. So buyer side, see homes before they hit Zillow. Buyer, get your personalized buyer list now. Buyer, unlock instant access to off-market deals. Seller, find out what buyers would actually pay for your home. Seller, get your free home value estimate instantly. Seller, discover if you're sitting on 50k in untapped equity. So these all do their own things. They all either trigger pain, curiosity, or value, or a bit of all 3, right? These are all angles you should be taking and stuff you should be testing out. And when it comes to tracking and stuff like that, these are something that I've discussed in previous videos, but it's so crucial to be able to split test properly and get the CTA up, right? Don't spend a year testing out 6 headlines, for God's sake. That will take way too long. Category 2, CTAs for YouTube ad funnels. So if the CTA doesn't grab attention in the first 3 seconds, you've lost them. So in ads, the purpose is to stop the scroll, spark curiosity, and lower resistance. I'll quickly explain what I mean through this video here.
The critical decisions of divorce. Just push the button below and we'll send it to you in a digital copy called Options in a Divorce.
Really, really good example there. Works really, really well there. But the point is, you need to be able to see exactly what the action is doing for you. Don't focus on the action as much, but what they're getting out of it, if that makes sense. So, example here, click to see what your home is really worth. No sign up required. Tap below to get the buyer intel investors don't want you to have. Click to claim your free home selling checklist used by top agents. See why homes in area are quietly selling for 15% more. So, these are all great examples there. But the moral of the story, don't use learn more or sign up. They're disgusting. Get rid of them. Use offers to actually create motion. That's the big one there. Category 3 is CTAs for email or text follow-up. So it doesn't have to necessarily be about funnels or YouTube ads in general. If you're texting leads, the wrong CTA will get you ghosted fast. That's right, the CTA is just as important outside of marketing and just doing the follow-up. So when following up by like email or text, your CTA should more feel personal. It's a different ballgame, same importance, different ballgame. So think of it like a helpful friend, not like a hungry salesperson, right? It's focusing on the point that you're actually here to help people, not you haven't got commission breath or you're just trying to get a sale, right? So, good example here. Can I send over a custom list of homes that match your budget? Bit bossy there, but you can easily make that personal. Want me to run the numbers for your home before we talk? If you're open to seeing what's out there, I can send you 3 listings by tonight. Sound good? Really, really strong there. I actually like that. Get a 5-minute video breaking down what your home might be worth. Want it? So, you can see all these serve their own purpose. They all do a good job in actually creating curiosity, value, and that sort of thing there, and actually building towards a good call to action. So really, really great example there. So category 4 is the best CTAs for appointment booking. Different ball game here. So realtors push too hard, so prospects pull away. In short, here's the difference. A book a free call today feels like a pitch, but open to a 15-minute quick strategy session, that's a good one. Like, it feels like a favor. And that's the main thing there. Make it feel like a favor, not a pitch or anything like that. Like, make it relevant to why. So, an example for a funnel page, right? You've got the opt-in, appointment booking page, and then a thank you page. Make your appointment booking page relevant like the opt-in page. There's no reason why it should be so disconnected. Obviously, it's going to be more about the realtor in the second one. You're laying breadcrumbs for the next page, but it still has to be relevant. And that's the main thing a lot of people get wrong. So, want to see what this looks like in your area? Totally free, takes you 15 minutes, you'll walk away with a clear plan. This can work as well over text. Open to a quick strategy session this week. Let's map out your options. No commitments, just clarity. All really great examples there again. So, category 5 is about the CTAs for ads, right? So these are top performing ads for real campaigns. This is the real stuff here. These CTAs crushed it over 6 real estate markets. So here are the best CTAs we've actually used and the top performing ones we've tested. So seller, find out what investors would pay for in your home in 24 hours. A little bit big there. Seller, see if you qualify for a 10K over market cash offer. Seller, how much could your home actually sell for right now? Buyer, get access to homes before they're listed. Buyer, want to see what 400K gets you in Dallas? Could be a horrible example there, but you get what I mean. Grab the buyer playbook that got person under contract in 5 days. So there's a really good formula to all these. Like, these CTAs win because they create curiosity and have direct value involved. It's a really good here. So the end of the story is the best CTAs answer the question, what's in it for me right now? What do I get out of this? If you ask that question to a CTA, you probably won. Like, just keep that in mind. Whenever you want to make one, or you're really trying to customize one, then always ask yourself the question, or really treat it like a reply to the question, what's in it for me right now? And you'll be absolutely fine. So the framework for how this works, and it's a bit of a decent one. If your CTA doesn't follow the ROI formula, it dies very painfully or quick. You wouldn't really die painfully quick, but you get what I'm talking about. So ROI, three things here: relevance, outcome, intent reduction. So is it contextually aligned with the prospect's needs? Are you offering something actually valuable? And does it reduce pressure and risk? You have to make sure it follows all these 3, otherwise it doesn't work. And here are great examples of why it works and why it doesn't work. You've got see what your home's worth, relevant, seller, offers outcome, and low pressure, right? Compare that to submit, no outcome, high pressure, and no incentive. What's the point of putting submit? You might as well put your funnel in the bin. It doesn't work. So if you follow this system right here, you'll be absolutely fine. And this is what I mean, following on into the framing. Right, framing matters a lot, especially soft CTAs versus hard CTAs. Timing your call to action is like seasoning your food. Too early and it ruins everything. So a soft CTA basically invites action with like no commitment, right? So I'm going to send you 3 off-market homes. Great one there. Another one, it invites action with no commitment. So as I say there, you have to keep that in mind for every soft CTA you do. Open to a quick 10-minute call to brainstorm options. It's about asking a question rather than commanding a statement. That's a really big one. Hard CTAs push decision. So book your free consultation now, as I say here as well. Schedule your home evaluation today. So these ones are more in the sense of having questions or like, would you be open to this? Or you want me to do this? Versus schedule it now or book it now, right? Really, really big ones there. You have to make sure you have to know what you're doing though. Like use soft CTAs early in the funnel and then hard CTAs only when trust is built. If your trust isn't built, you're going to have a really hard time trying to push for CTAs. Don't go in for the close before earning attention. That's a really big one there. But here's something else to consider as well. Emotional call to action. So when logic doesn't convert, you need to try something else. People don't act logically, they act emotionally. So sometimes logic CTAs flop hard, but then emotional CTAs actually convert. Why this happens is because emotion taps into fear, pride, and desire and makes them act. Emotion is the driving factor, and then they justify logically. They buy emotionally, justify logically. You've probably heard that if you're familiar with sales. It's one of the really common ones there. So don't leave money on the table. Find out what your home could really sell for. The buyer list goes up tomorrow. Want a copy before it's gone? Really like that. You've worked hard to build equity. Let's make sure you don't lose it. Great example is this video here as well. Basically talking about, it's more of a pain script, so it focuses on the emotion side of things, but builds a little bit of curiosity as well. You don't want to go fully one to the other. You want majority of one, majority of other. So 9% pain, 10% curiosity, or 10% pain, 9% curiosity, that sort of thing there. If you want to know what I'm on about, the previous video discussed it in greater detail than my one here. But at the end of the day, when logic fails, speak to emotion. That's kind of what you need to do. So how you actually test CTAs, use a split testing method. So you don't need 100 call to actions, you need one that actually works. So here's how you actually test CTAs properly. So test it in isolation. Everything else stays the same, but have it in isolation. Just do that one thing, change the one CTA, and then everything works. So at least 300 to 500 visits per version. With YouTube ads, I make it a bit less, so 100, 150. It really depends on the market and stuff like that as well. Track click-through, form, and conversion. Make sure you actually know if it's working or not. If it's not, or if it's something that's significantly bad, catch it early. CTAs changes that win. So see homes versus unlock your private buyer list, or get estimate, discover what buyers would pay. Test those two out. It could be the case that the hard CTA works better than the soft CTA, but you don't know unless you try them both out. But the point is, small changes make big differences. So test slowly, track tightly, and the call to action wins comes from data, not from guesses, right? So when it comes to CTA placement is another story. Where do I put it on the page? What do I do with it? So where you place the CTA matters as much as what it says. You don't always have to put the CTA at the bottom. So try this structure. Above the fold has a high intent call to action. Mid page is contextual CTA with benefit, and end of page is emotional CTA or soft close, right? So you want to go with a hard CTA at the top and a CTA at the bottom, which is a bit more softer, just more for browsers there, and contextual one in the middle with benefit. So here are 3 examples here. Get your home value button at the top, see me if you're leaving 50k on the table in the middle, and want a cash offer, no obligation at the bottom. All really, really good examples there, especially in the ad there as well. Now you need to figure out the CTA psychology. So loss, curiosity, logic in that order every time. What I mean by that is you follow this structure of CTA and follow in the split testing sort of like fashion. You'll know exactly what works. These are the main 3 that work. Loss aversion, are you selling too low? Curiosity, see what others are getting. Logic, get a custom market estimate. Basically what you want to do, stack them in your copy, start with a fear of loss, then tease the unknown, and then close with clarity. It needs to be all really, really good there. But at the end of the day, CTA psychology follows emotion, curiosity, and logic every single time. If you follow those 3, you'll do really well in making your own CTA. So at the end of the day, most realtors don't have a lead gen problem, they have a CTA problem, as I said. The difference between a 1% and 10% conversion is just one sentence. It's something that's so crucial, but a lot of realtors forget it. So test the examples I gave, use the ROI framework, and then track the data. And if you want my top performing CTA examples as a free swipe file, comment CTA or go to my Instagram and DM me deals and I'll send it over. Or you can drop the CTA you're currently using right now. I'll try and improve it, see what I can do, and just see what market you're in, and yeah, try and help you improve it. But yeah, that's everything. Like I said, use the ones I gave you, test them, adjust them, track them, see what happens. And yeah, if you want my top performing ones, DM me deals on Instagram and we'll get that for you. That's pretty much everything. The video is here as well. Go on my channel, look for these videos here. You won't find these ones because these are more ads that we use. But these 2 here specifically, they'll be able to put you in a really good direction of setting a YouTube ad system up for success or whatever you're doing with your funnel. But yeah, that's everything. See ya.